What is up, you guys? It's Awoketh, and welcome back to my E3 coverage. Today, there'll most likely be two videos, one on Microsoft and one on Bethesda. These two conferences were the ones that happened today, Microsoft happening first and then Bethesda happening second. And overall, I think they both had some good moments, but for the most part, they had their flaws. And I think they honestly kind of shared some of the same flaws. And whichever one this video is, I hope you all enjoy and that you like and subscribe. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and start off with Microsoft. It was the first one that happened in the day. And if I were to rate Microsoft, I'd give them a solid 6 out of 10. It wasn't their best E3. I believe last year was honestly their best work in terms of modern E3s. But they had some good moments. They had really good moments at some points, but it was just bogged down by being way too much stuff in there that wasn't really that substantive. They started off, Phil Spencer came and he said, oh, there's going to be 60 games in this thing. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it was going to be 60 great games. It was 60, but really like 5 that stood out, honestly. If you were expecting the big Banjo reveal, I was. There was nothing here. If you're expecting Microsoft to come down and say, oh, we're doing more with Nintendo, nope, not here. But let's go ahead and start talking about what some of the things that they announced. Let's see. I'm gonna save their best moment, which had to be Cyberpunk for closer to the end. But their first the smaller announcement they did was the new Ori. And it looked really good. It looked really cinematic and dynamic in terms of its presentation. I've never played it before. I don't know if I'm going to play 2, but it looked good. And if you're into the game and if you're into that series, then I think you're obviously going to like it. After Ori, the other one that got to me was Battletoads. I really had a lot of hope for Battletoads. You know, I saw the art style and how they looked like they were going for an arcade feel. But then looking at it in motion, it just looks awkward. It's like comparing Cuphead, which was hand-drawn 1920 style game. And then you compare it to Battletoads, and Battletoads looks a lot more CGI. I thought they would end up doing more hand frame or hand animation, or like drawing the frames by hand, but they didn't, and it looked weird to me. Speaking of that, actually, that makes me wonder, where was Cuphead? Because they should have had Cuphead at Microsoft's E3, but I don't think I remember seeing it. I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing anything about Cuphead DLC at Microsoft's presentation. And that should have been there. That really should have. Let's see. They spent a lot of time on Xbox Game Pass. They're putting Game Pass on PC now. And that's one of the avenues where you can play the new Halo with Halo Reach. Or not the new Halo, I'm sorry. But the Master Chief Collection with the Halo Reach being the first game available through it on Xbox Game Pass on PC. But my question is, can you just buy the game? Like, I just want to be able to go and buy the game on my console. I don't want a subscription service. I want to see what they do for people that are just cool buying the games outright. Is that an option for games that are going to be on specifically tailor-made for Xbox, or for PC, I'm sorry. Because that was one of the big selling points on this Game Pass for PC, is that it was made for PC. Will these games be available for purchase on the just Xbox store, the Windows Store on PC? That'd be good to see. Also, yeah, that reminds me, what's going on in terms of Halo on Steam? Because it's supposed to be happening. And we didn't get any update on that, and that was another thing that surprised me a little bit. Let's see. A cool announcement that I thought was the project. It was initially called Project Dragon Ball or something like that, but they officially renamed it to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It looks cool. That was one of the few games they actually had gameplay for. That was a bigger game. It looks like it's going to be Xenoverse, but they kind of built more on top of it, and they make it more of an RPG, and I think it's going to be good. I really hope, because I know it's called Kakarot, and the whole thing about they use that name far more often in the Vegeta Saga and Frieza Saga than they do the rest of the series. So I'm wondering, are we still going to get anything past Frieza? Because Frieza's the most they've shown so far. Like, I want to know, are we going to get the androids? Are we going to get Cell? They could even potentially go into Super. And if they really wanted to, I doubt they will. They could go to Tournament of Power and then Super Broly. Because Goku does say Kakarot in that movie. It would be fun to see. That's a big stretch, honestly. Let's see. Xbox announced that they bought Double Fine, which is the company that made... that makes Psychonauts, and that's cool. I swear, I think we've been seeing Psychonauts for like 3 years. So cool. Yeah. I don't really think anyone's really as excited for that game as they were a while ago, and I think they gave a release date too, but I could be wrong. Let's see, Gears 5. Gears 5 looked good. I wish they showed us what the 3-player mode looks like. And I wish we got more of a story trailer than just a head. Than just the character's face for like 2 minutes. That was a very poor choice of a trailer. But I think the thing is that they did it with the expectation that people would stay for the after shows and then see the gameplay reveal afterward. But that's just still, it was unnecessary. They could have shown gameplay. And that's really true for a lot of the different games, is they could have shown gameplay, but they didn't. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get to... Oh, no, xCloud. They didn't touch on xCloud as much as they really should have. They said, oh, hey, Project xCloud's a thing. Play your Xbox games on iPhone. Alright, let's move on to more stuff about the Game Pass, because everybody cares about that. And I wish they talked more about that and less about Game Pass, because I was still a little bit confused about xCloud leaving out of it. I know you can use your own Xbox as a server, and that seems cool, but I can use my Xbox as a server and then play the games on my phone. Will it cost anything? Or is confusing to me, honestly. Maybe I missed something, but it confused me. Yeah, it was just on the go on a mobile device, but yeah, okay. And they had the new Xbox Elite controller, which is going to be like $400. Cool. So yeah, let's get talking to the big two things. Of course, there was Halo Infinite and there's Cyberpunk 2077. So let's talk Cyberpunk first. That trailer was so good. They got everybody in the entire place hyped for it, and in the end, when they revealed that Keanu Reeves is a character in the game, and then when Keanu Reeves actually came in and started talking about the game, you could tell that was an E3 moment that was going to go down in history. And I think it was honestly like a big saving moment in the conference, because there was so much boring stuff. But then that moment really turned it around, for sure. They went back to boring stuff afterward, but that moment really, really turned it up for everybody there. And I'm surprised that the game is done that early. I don't know if you all have heard, but Square Enix revealed the release date for the first episode of Final Fantasy VII. And a lot of these games that I thought would take at least another 2-3 years, no, they're actually coming out 2020. 2020 is going to be a very stacked year for gaming, from what it looks like. And that's pretty exciting. Yeah, Keanu Reeves, big moment. Cyberpunk coming out in April. That was stunning. That whole moment was just stunning, honestly. And I'm so glad that Cyberpunk is that close to coming out. Now let's move on to the last part, where they talked about Xbox Project Scarlet and Halo Infinite together, kind of combined there. Yeah, Scarlet sounds like it's gonna be the real deal. My big concern about it is the price. If you're playing games at 120 frames per second, for that, and if it's gonna be 4 times more powerful than Xbox Scorpio, Xbox One X, then hopefully the price tag isn't 4 times that of the Xbox One X. If they can keep it around 400 or 500, that would absolutely be good. We don't want it to be like the PS3, where it launched at $899, and then that got discounted to all the way down. Yeah, I hope Scarlet's really good. I want to see what it looks like, and they didn't mention VR. I thought they were gonna say, it really would have been a good moment had they said, oh yeah, it also supports Oculus, especially with Sony having PSVR and the Nintendo Labo VR. It just seems like Microsoft is kind of left out on that equation, honestly. Even though at this point, the Xbox Scarlet is almost as powerful, if not more powerful, than most gaming PCs. I still, because of that, I wish it had the capability to do VR, and I hope they talk about that. And then Halo Infinite. That trailer was really good. I don't know much about the plot of Halo, which is why I want to get the Master Chief Collection. But the graphics looked really good. I think that was still Xbox One gameplay and not Scarlet gameplay. But it looked really good. The textures looked amazing, honestly. And just seeing the scale of that game is most likely going to have, just with the big Earth destroyed, the big square Earth or whatever destroyed. Like, that was cool. And I hope that game does really well. I wasn't really a big fan of the fact that it was a Scarlet launch title, because that's what they're doing. It's basically a Breath of the Wild situation, where it's, why really bother getting it on Xbox One when you can get it on Scarlet? And if it's another thing like Breath of the Wild, then the version of the Xbox One version is going to be definitely nowhere near as good as the Scarlet version. And especially if the Scarlet ends up costing around $1,000, which it very well might, I think that's going to be very, just, I don't know what the word is, but it's going to be very inconvenient. That's what I was trying to say. For people that were waiting on an Xbox One Halo experience other than Halo 5. But yeah, all in all, I wish they showed more gameplay on just multiple different games, and I really wish they had just cut that conference down a little bit. But other than that, Xbox was really good. Well, Xbox was good, not really good, I'm sorry. But Xbox was good. 6 out of 10. Final score. Make sure to like and subscribe. The Bethesda video should be coming up right after this. And yeah. Hope y'all are enjoying E3.